The Asian American Bar Association of New York is proud to recognize Eric T. Schneiderman, the Attorney General for the state of New York, as the recipient of the 2017 Public Service Leadership Award. After graduating from Harvard Law School in 1982, Eric started his career at a major law firm, but soon made the move to follow his passion for public service. Since then, Eric has continuously fought for the protection and the rights of New Yorkers.
He is passionate in such a genuine way about ensuring that everybody gets their day in court, that every community in our state is represented, has support, has people who are recognize the uniqueness of their contribution to our state. And that's what public service is all about, that we help people, we serve others. And that's what Eric Schneiderman does as a way of life.
As a public interest lawyer, Eric represented tenants trying to evict drug dealers from their buildings, women seeking access to health clinics, and taxpayers in historic lawsuits against the MTA. In 1998, Eric was elected to the New York State Senate and soon became one of its leading reformers. He led the effort to repeal Rockefeller drug laws and crack down on denials of health insurance coverage to vulnerable New Yorkers.
I'll tell you about one of the first experiences that we had with Eric Schneiderman. And this is actually when he was a state senator. 10 years ago, back in 2007, the issue of driver's licenses for all immigrants in New York State was a hot one. And there was a tremendous amount of criticism from folks who said, well, maybe they shouldn't have driver's licenses. Maybe they're going to be terrorists. And Eric Schneiderman stood up and said, that's not the case. This is going to protect our immigrant communities. It's going to protect our state. It's going to make our roads safer. This is a completely sensible idea. New York State should make driver's licenses available for all immigrants. But throughout all the controversy, throughout all the twists and turns, Eric Schneiderman stood tall, and he made sure that he was a champion for immigrant rights. And we have never forgotten that.
In November 2010, Eric Schneiderman was elected the 65th Attorney General of New York State. As the highest-ranking law enforcement officer for the state, Eric has taken on tough cases, including those against powerful people and entities, as he believes that there is only one set of rules for everyone.
He has demonstrated time and time again that he is deeply committed to principles of equal access to justice, for a level playing field. And he's not just articulated these principles, but he has actually put these principles into effect through the investigations and cases that he brings.
I think Attorney General Schneiderman deserves a tremendous amount of credit for stepping into the breach as a lawyer representing New York when it's been absolutely necessary. One example of that was just a couple weeks ago, when President Trump announced his travel ban and his backdoor Muslim ban that caused havoc at JFK Airport and at airports all across the country. Eric Schneiderman stepped forward and said, we are going to join a lawsuit. We're going to make sure that the state of New York is suing the Trump administration, making sure that our airports are open.
Eric has been a fighter for equal justice, for a system in which justice is not about the amount of money in your pocket. And as the chief law enforcement officer in our state, I can't think of anybody who has been more instrumental in ensuring that the ideal of equal justice is a reality in this state, and for that matter, in this country.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in congratulating tonight's honoree and recipient of the 2017 AABANY Public Service Leadership Award, New York State Attorney General Eric T. Schneiderman.